guys, DeondreHawk7 here, and today we're going to be reacting to 3
scary animated stories.
Now, if you guys don't know what 3 creepy animated stories is, it's actually pretty new to the channel. What I do is I take 3 random scary animated stories that I find on YouTube, and I react to them. So, yeah, it's one of those reaction videos, you know, the types of videos that everyone hates, you know. But, you know, I do basically every single thing on this channel, so I don't just do reaction video. Wait.
Save that for the end of the video, Deondre. Save that for the end of the video.
So, last time we did a video like this, we actually reacted to 3 llama art stories, but today I'm going to be focusing on 3 random YouTubers that don't like associate with llama arts, you know. I mean, that was terrible wording, but they don't basically these videos aren't by llama arts, they're just random videos that I just selected on YouTube. So, and these videos were actually uploaded a lot more recent. They were uploaded like somewhere around this week. So, you know, they're relatively new. And I'll leave links in the description down below so you guys can go check out the original creators' channels and stuff, so you guys can watch the videos by yourselves and all that stuff. And so that way I can give credit, because you know how I feel about, you know, just stealing people's videos and then, you know, making credit off of their videos without even giving them credit in the first place. Because, you know, I didn't make the videos, they did. I'm just spectating. I'm just a spectator.
Let's just do this.
Now, this first video that we're going to be reacting to is True Creepy Creature Horror Story Animated. It is uploaded by C Entertainment. So, if you guys don't know, I'll leave an original link down in the description down below so I can give C some credit. And without further ado, let's react. Ooh, I don't like that.
My name is
Magda,
Magda,
noise.
and I'm 26 years old.
Magda.
I work in an office in the city. On the weekends, I used to love to get away from all the hustle and bustle and take a trip to the countryside.
Gotcha. Let me turn
Luckily,
this down a little bit.
I have a cottage in a small village which is located right at the edge of the forest. How I used to love to get out of the city and spend the weekend in my little cottage. Why did I stop? Well, I'll tell you. After a hard week at work, I needed to rest, so I decided to get out of town. I went home, packed my bags, threw them in the trunk, and drove off. When I arrived in the village, it was late in the evening and I was tired from the long drive. I went straight to bed and fell asleep quickly. In the middle of the night, I was awakened by the sound of my car alarm going off. I looked out the window, but there was nobody in sight. I found my car keys, pressed the button to shut off the alarm, and the awful noise stopped. I laid back down and tried to fall asleep. All of a sudden, the alarm went off again. I didn't feel like getting up, so I just grabbed my keys and pressed the button once more. Everything was peaceful and quiet again. However, 5 minutes later, the alarm went off a 3rd time. Once or twice
what is going on?
An accident, but now I was wondering what was going on. Could someone be playing tricks on me in the middle of the night? I got up again and pressed the button.
See, this is why you get a gun.
But this time, I didn't lay back down. I stood at the curtains and watched. After a few minutes, I saw something by the light of the moon. A shadow emerged from the bushes and
what the heck is that?
The car. I could just about make out the shape.
What is that?
It was something tall, skinny, and black.
What is that?
The figure reached out with its long, thin arms and knocked on the car. The alarm went off again, and quick as a flash, the dark figure retreated back into the bushes. At that moment, I realized what was going on and began shaking with fear. I turned off the alarm and continued to watch. The thing emerged from the bushes again, slid silently over to the gates, threw a hand through them, and removed the partition holding the gates closed. I was paralyzed with fear, and I couldn't move. My mind was overcome by panic thoughts.
Bro, why'd you turn around?
What did it want from me? What
Why'd
was
you
it
turn
doing?
around?
Would it ever go away? A shiver ran through my body, from my head down to my toes. My mouth was dry and my heart was beating fast. I was so tense, I was gritting my teeth and clenching my hands into fists. This is why you get a gun. I regained control of myself and ran down the stairs as fast as my legs could carry me to the ground floor. I wanted to look for something I could use to protect myself. However, just as I was about to switch on the lights, I suddenly froze in my tracks.
Don't tell me it's at the window.
The dark figure was at the window. It was pressed up against the glass, staring in, looking to see whether or not there was someone home. I immediately ducked down behind the sofa and peered out. That's when I realized what all those tricks with the car were for. It was trying to lure its victim outside. I couldn't take my eyes off its hideous face. Its skin was the color of ash and covered with wrinkles. Its eyes were small, beady, and completely black. Instead of it having a nose, there were 2 ragged holes. It didn't have any lips, just 2 rows of sharp, yellow teeth. When it breathed, it was so heavy and hoarse that it was misting up the window. I just knew it wasn't going to go away. After standing at the window for a few moments, I heard a rustling noise as it came to the front door. I watched as it tried to push its fingers through the gap under the door. The handle began to twitch wildly up and down. The creature emitted a chilling sound. It was not like a human voice. It was a deep, beastly growl, like an angry dog chewing on a bone. I knew that if it heard me, it would keep trying until it found a way to get into the house. I crouched down behind the sofa, hiding in the shadows and desperately trying not to make a sound. Tears began involuntarily streaming down my face. No matter how much I tried to stop them, I could feel my pulse pounding in my temples, and I was shaking like a leaf.
It's trying to track you down too.
I don't know how long I cowered there. I must have been passed out. When I woke up and looked out the window, the creature was gone. The door was still in place and everything seemed secure. I've never been so relieved in all my life. I ran upstairs and looked out the window. It was light outside and there was no sign of anything wrong. Taking a chance, I grabbed my keys and without stopping to collect any of my things, I ran out to the car. I jumped in, locked the doors, and drove away from the village as fast as I could. I didn't stop driving until I got back to the city. When I got back to my apartment, I turned on the radio and heard a news report. The announcer said that, in the village, the dead bodies of 2 girls had been discovered. Their corpses had been mutilated and dumped in a swamp. I guess the creature found what it was looking for. I don't want to, but I am curious to know.
Oh my gosh.
What would have happened if I didn't make the right decision of sprinting?
You would have died. You would have definitely died. See, that's why I'm scared of living in like the middle of nowhere by myself, because like something like that can actually like happen to me. Like I'm getting a gun. Like I want to get a gun just so I can like just in case something like that happens. So that way, if like the creature just in case something like that finds me, like you're dead. Like unless that thing's like impervious to bullets, then well, I'm not about to die. I'm not about to die freaking I'm not about to freaking die freaking running away. I got some of these. You know. Okay. Hopefully I want someone to make a meme out of me, like with me doing that, but they add like freaking Dragon Ball noises with them. You guys know what I'm talking about, right? Alright, let's get on to the next video. Alright guys, so this next video is called The Psychopath I Met on Tinder. Tinder? The psychopath I met on Tinder still haunts me. True animated horror story. This video is made by Thriller Teller. So shouts out to Thriller Teller. I'll leave a link in the description down below like the first video so you guys can go check out their channel. And make sure, and if you guys want to like watch the video without my annoying commentary, you guys can go check it out for yourselves. So without further ado, let's react.
I gotta do this 2 more times. Actually, no. This is the second time I'm doing this, so I only gotta do it 1 more time. Thank God.
Alright. Thriller teller. The psychopath I met on Tinder still haunts me.
I met a guy on Tinder, and we really started to hit it off. We'd been chatting for a few weeks and even discovered we had a few mutual friends. I was pretty intoxicated one night, was feeling social, and decided to drive to his place to meet him for the first time. Once I got there, we talked outside for a while and ended up vibing even better in person. I opened up to him about my health problems, and he opened up to me about his older sister, who had just passed away from a similar condition to mine. I was curious about his sister, but I definitely didn't want him to be uncomfortable, so I didn't want to ask too much about her.
True.
We walked into his house, and it smelled like 1,000 dead rats were rotting under the floorboard.
Oh,
I was still pretty drunk, so I tried to forgive it because, hey, sometimes animals die under a house or in the walls, and there's nothing you can really do about it. I start to look around,
did you guys see how he
the whole house looks like a cluttered storage unit.
Clean your house.
He takes me to his room, which is seemingly normal, but I was so drunk that as soon as I hit the bed, I fell asleep.
Wow.
I woke up around 10 a.m., feeling very sober, and started to look around the room. I noticed that only girls' clothes were hung in his closet. I started to assume I've possibly been cheated with. Then I see a giant black binder on his nightstand. When he woke up, I decided to jokingly ask him, "What's in that giant binder?" Turns out, it was every single episode of Golden Girls printed out. He said he read it at work, and it's the only show he'll ever watch. It was his sister's favorite show, and they both used to watch it together. I asked him what he did for work. Something I definitely should have known by this point. And he dodged the question.
Yep, he's up to something.
I sat up and looked at the pillow I'd been cozily sleeping on. It had no pillowcase and was covered what looked to be old blood. It looked like that the blood had been coughed onto it. I started putting the unpleasant pieces together and asked as sensitively as I could, "Hey, was this your sister's room? I noticed the clothes in the closet." "Yeah, and this is her bed. I haven't changed or washed anything. It just makes me feel better to be in her bed. This is actually where I held her when she died. And you remind me so much of her. I really, really like you."
Yep.
At that point, I felt really sorry for him, and I had no idea that he was so close to his sister. It seemed that he was suffering a lot,
but still,
and clearly needed help. He then slowly started coming close to me, and casually tried to hook up with me.
Oh.
I was feeling very uncomfortable at that point, so I pushed him away.
Oh, you shouldn't have done that.
My phone fell on the floor. I bent down to grab my phone.
Oh!
Under the bed was the rotten corpse of his dead sister, staring right at me. I wanted to scream really loud, but I kept quiet. I have no idea how I controlled my fear and pretended that everything was normal. I reached for my bag to quickly use my inhaler. He kept staring at me.
Asthma.
There was a weird smile on his face.
Oh, heck
and he told me that his sister used to have one of those.
Heck no.
My mind was racing to think of ways to get out of there. I asked him if he could get a glass of water for me. He said alright, and went to the kitchen to grab a glass of water for me.
Got you.
As soon as he went to the kitchen, I grabbed my bag and got out of there.
Heck yeah. Oh, it's daytime too.
As I was driving off, I could hear him screaming, standing at the door, that why was I leaving? I was just glad that I escaped. I immediately called the police and told everything. Few days after, I found out that he was arrested for keeping the corpse of his sister and was later moved to the mental hospital.
Yep.
To this day, his sister's dead face gives me sleepless nights.
Jump scare? Yep. Okay, you didn't see it, but I kind of jumped a little bit. I kind of jumped just a teensy bit.
Hi everyone.
Not what I was expecting, but yeah, that guy had some really bad problems. That's all I can say. So there's that. On to the next story, I guess. So this last video we're going to be reacting to is called Family First Scary Story Time. Something Scary by Snarled. This is a video by Snarled. I've seen Corey Kenshin react to some scary stories of hers back in the day. Well, I mean, not really back in the day. I mean, his series, his Scary Story Sundays video is actually pretty recent. In fact, Scary Story Sundays is actually what inspired this series. So shouts out to Corey Kenshin. Guys, check him out. He's a really good YouTuber. One of my favorite YouTubers of all time. I love his scary videos, by the way. His scary, spooky Scary Sundays. And I love his scary game videos. So, horror game videos. That's what I was trying to say. But today's not about Corey Kenshin. Maybe if we have like a compilation of him, I'll react to it. But who knows? So, link in the description will be in the description down below. So you guys can go check out the video for yourselves. You guys don't want to hear my commentary over it. And without further ado, let's react.
I'm Sapphire. Want to hear something scary? Family first. The following story is inspired by a submission from Colin. It was a cool autumn evening in 1956. John,
1956,
a middle-aged
that's a long time ago,
was sitting in the living room on his favorite brand new leather chair, reading the newspaper. As he finished a section, he handed it to his 7-year-old daughter, sitting on the ground near him, who was cutting out paper dolls. The peace and quiet was interrupted by the doorbell.
Seems 1950s-ish.
Who could that be at such a late hour? John wondered. He opened the door to find a handsome young man in a suit, carrying a briefcase and smiling widely. "Good evening. I hate to bother you at such an odd hour," the man said, his voice warm and inviting. "But my car doesn't seem to be in working order, and I was wondering if I could borrow your phone to call for assistance." John scanned the stranger up and down. "And what brings you to our neighborhood?" "Oh, pardon my manners." The stranger handed him a business card that said "Family First" in big letters. "The name's Robert. I sell life insurance." As John inspected the business card, his wife Lauren appeared behind him. "Why don't you come in and out of the cold? You are more than welcome to use our phone, but you have to stay for dinner first, and I won't take no for an answer." She motioned for Robert to come inside while John stared daggers at her. Lauren offered the new leather chair for Robert to sit in while she finished up dinner. Robert commented on how nice the new leather felt. He then proceeded to explain the types of policies he sold and how they're ideal for families. "This world is full of the unexpected," Robert
she
said.
made a lot of paper dolls.
"Don't you want your family to be protected in case something happened to you?" John still wasn't comfortable with this man in their house. And before he could even respond to Robert's question, he noticed a shift in Robert's expression. Robert was looking at the newspaper headline that the young girl was cutting up.
Missing insurance salesman.
Missing insurance salesman still not found.
Okay.
And the rest was cut out. John looked back at Robert, whose once confident posture had devolved into trembling nervousness.
Yeah, he seems pretty antsy right now.
I should probably get out of your hair," Robert said as he stood up to leave.
"But don't you need to stay for dinner?"
"What about the phone?" John said bitingly. Just then, Lauren burst through the room to announce that dinner was ready. Robert continued to politely decline, but Lauren sat him down at the dinner table with the rest of the family. Realizing he didn't have much choice, Robert began to dive into the roast placed in front of him.
Left the...
And it was delicious, so tender and juicy, unlike anything he'd ever had. He washed it down with a swig of red wine and gave his compliments to the chef. As he put the drink back down, he saw that the girl was staring at him. Her lips were now turned upright into a mischievous smile. She covered her mouth, suppressing her giggles. Robert wondered what it was that she found so funny. Then, his vision began to blur. His hearing began to fade in and out. He could faintly make out John and Lauren's hushed voices.
I'm sorry I didn't insult you first, John, but you know how much I love salesmen. The young and ambitious ones are always the tastiest. It's okay, dear.
They're cannibals!
I think he was beginning to catch on to us.
In his state of increasing confusion, Robert made a realization. He realized what happened to the missing salesman in the headline. Realized why that leather chair felt so new. Realized what it was in his drink, and realized who he had just eaten. Robert wanted to be in the business of helping families from the unexpected.
They're cannibals!
Unfortunately, he wasn't prepared for this family who would be helping themselves to him.
The mom just looks chill too! Okay, so at first I speculated that it was the businessman, the insurance guy, who was going to be like, you know, the weird killer guy, because like he was all nonchalant and everything about everything, and then all of a sudden, like, I didn't get the pictures at first when he looked uneasy at the newspaper with the missing insurance guy. I picked it up when he started, like, when the little girl started giggling and he started getting all queasy because they Bill Cosby
they Bill Cosby this drink.
And then they're talking about like how they're gonna skin him and eat him and stuff. I'm like, excuse me, you guys are cannibals this whole time? So that was surprising for me. But anyways, if you guys enjoyed this video and you guys want more videos, you guys already know what you gotta do.
Smackety smack
the like button. Ow! Oh my god! I think I just broke my pinky. My pinky bent away and never thought pinky should bend. Oh my god. Okay, you guys want more scary, like me reacting to scary stories, make sure you guys comment down, not comment down below, make sure you guys smackety smack the like button. I'm gonna do this like I'm stirring Kool-Aid. That's how gotta I'm having really fun. That's what I love about YouTube. I love having fun. I get to be myself in front of the camera too. It's like I don't have like all these people watching me to make me feel uncomfortable. It's literally just me talking to myself basically in front of a camera. So it's like I get to be myself. Like I'm free. I'm as free as a. This is a butterfly. I'm as free as Mothra, even though Mothra is more of a prehistoric moth than a butterfly. But anyway, that's all I have to say. Comment down below as well if you guys have any more videos for me to react to. Like, comment down below if you guys have more like animated horror stories you guys want me to react to. That would be fun. And also subscribe. I don't just do reaction videos though. I also do I do skits, Reddit stories. Well, Reddit stories are relatively new. Gaming videos, vlogs, basically everything on this channel. I do everything on this channel. I am the ultimate YouTuber. But that's all I have to say. So also make sure you got, why am I getting progressively louder as I speak? Make sure you follow me on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and Snapchat. Links to those will be in the description down below. And I'll see you guys next time. DeondreHawk7. Oh, love you guys.